Listen in to Janine, Coyle, and
Chris O'Brien, the guy with the hair. Remember him? And by the way, the song is Little Latin Loopy Lou.
Easy for you to say.
Yes, that's why I said it so slowly.
That one. We all know this face right here, Ron Bohnert. Very talented bowler.
Has appeared on The King of Bowling as well as America's Most Wanted.
Wait a minute, his mom and dad won't appreciate that.
Age 31, averaging 230, qualified with 740, and look at the 300s, 28 and 19, 800 series.
He just has some unbelievable natural ability. You know, there's some people that have to work at it. Ron is just a naturally talented bowler. And his parents are very proud of him, David, so knock it off about the Most Wanted stuff.
Okay, I was just kidding.
Little Latin Loopy Lou.
That's right. Between the hours of 7 and 9 tomorrow on Chris O'Brien's show. And when you hear that, you call in and you know the winning score of the match that you are watching right now. You're going to win a couple $100 worth of nice equipment from AMF. Good people.
James Irving bringing out that bowling ball today, and of course we will match it. Wow. Once again, on a roll, Jason Sebastian. Not showing any signs of nervousness at all.
Well, he brings it right back to Ron Bohnert with the powerful cranking shot just inside of the second arrow. The 10th board goes out a little wider, but comes back just as strong with the mixing action. 10 pins doing their job. Jason Sebastian knows that Ron Bohnert is not to be played with lightly. Just throw strikes and see what happens. Going high that time, first time in the match, I believe.
All day.
Leaving the 2, the 4, and the 7. Again, this is choppable unless he kills it. Watch it. Watch the ball as it cuts through the head pin right here. Just drives everything straight back or straight up. None of the pin action that you're used to seeing out of Jason. So hopefully he knows how to flatten it out.
Exactly. Good point, David.
We'll see. Nope, he goes with the full crank, and that's the price you might pay. Again, the more experienced tournament player will learn to flatten the ball out for that spare.
Or make a ball change.
Or make a ball change. Either way, Jen, whatever's more comfortable for you at home, try it both ways. Mr. Ron Bohnert on the right-hand lane after opening with a spare. Does what he does so well and strikes.
He is really great at kicking that 10 pin or that 7 pin out just at the last second. It's a talented release.
Part of what makes him good is this angle at the foul line. Look at it. Gets down, gets through the ball very cleanly. Those fingers roll up right alongside the ball as well as underneath the ball, and gets that tremendously powerful roll with good direction. Left-hand lane. Lane number 5 here at Eastgate, and he just absolutely buries him.
Steve Haynes on the right from Jeff Weiler, and as I mentioned, James Irving on the left from AMF, bringing us out those bowling balls every week, doing a fine job of promoting their equipment. And he's a nice guy, too.
And he doesn't hit the golf ball too bad either.
Sure. Oh, ouch. Stereo sound.
Well, yeah, really, both of us. 2 shots we've seen go high. Watch this one. Does it break up the split? No. This ball is going to go right through the head pin, straight back. Now watch it go straight back, 5 pins straight back, and it splits the 2 and the 3 to both sides. If you're going to replay that one, guys, after the show, just keep it moving and watch where the pins go, and that's where you do not want to go. Right through the head pin. It's death.
Now, one of 2 things could be happening here, David, because I believe he's playing the same area on the lane. Either the dressing is starting to dry out, or his speed is gotten a little bit slower. I think he's going to need to keep it firmer. I do think it's a speed adjustment that he's going to need here.
Well, I have to agree with you, Jen. If anything, we remarked on when he first started bowling on the show how quickly he was throwing the ball. And I think, yeah, that's definitely slower than before. But making the adjustments and staying with your game is what's going to bring you to the winner's circle. This man has only one gear. It's full out. Maximum overdrive for Ron Bohnert. Right-hand lane, he's got a double working. And with the open frame, he's going to jump into a big lead with a strike here. Yep.
Wow, very nice. David, I mentioned the men's city tournament going on. The women's city tournament this year will be held at Seymour Lanes, and that will be going on from March 16th through the 31st. And the ladies out at the GCWBA, Greater Cincinnati Women's Bowling Association, would like to remind you guys that Friday night they've added a team event for the first time, so that could be pretty convenient for many of you. You can give them a ring out at 731-5779. 79th Annual City Championship Women's Tournament.
As Ron Bohnert delivers, he carries to the line with him a 45-pin lead and leaves the solid 7. His opponent views that as a possible opening, but 45 pins is a lot to make up, but we have half of the game left.
The most important half.
Well, my guess is Ron's going to make this. I haven't seen him miss too many 7 pins over the years, and this is no different.
He opts for the harder surface ball.
Remember to keep the ball rolling for the Big Sisters, Big Brothers Association of Cincinnati, and bowl for the kids in the annual bowl-a-thon. It was my pleasure for 2 or 3 years in a row to be the representative of this. What a fine organization. Kip Holman, a personal friend of mine and one of the key people in the organization, is going to be coordinating this through the BPA and through all the local centers, and it is going to be a phenomenal deal. If you want more information, call 761-3200, 761-3200, and give you some more information. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. And even if you don't have enough time to be a big brother, big sister, you've got enough time to come out and bowl for us. So.
And that is such a worthwhile organization.
Ron Bohnert is carrying this game to the max, but he's not going to go away. Let's see what happens right here. Oh, a solid 6-pin on a great shot. Just a little bit high.
Very frustrating when you're around the pocket as he is and just not carrying, because when you're going against someone like Ron Bohnert, you're going to need to string him. There's no question about it. Ron very rarely has a bad game.
Bohnert's lead is now up to 45 pins. Make that 35, my bad. Got to get these glasses fixed, Jenny. Having
Just wipe them off, David. They're all foggy.
Is that what it is? It's sitting next to you the whole game. Mr. Ron Bohnert, right-hand lane, can really put this match away if he keeps striking. And strike, he does.
David, I'd like to congratulate some of the women that came out to Eastgate Lanes during the immense snowstorm that we had. Tina Dillon had a 544. Donna Evans cashed for 87.50, both of them girls, and Pam Campbell and Bitsy Drake also cashed for $175 for Bitsy.
There you saw the messenger pin coming across and doing it what it does so well for Mr. Ron Bohnert, knocking all 10 down. Once again, Jen, I mean, this is no surprise to us or anyone who watches King of Bowling with any regularity. Ron Bohnert, once he gets the lead, is probably one of the best, if not the best, front runners I've ever seen.
I would have to totally agree. He smells blood, and he goes in for the kill.
And hopefully we don't see that on here, or America's Most Wanted might be calling us up. See, I'll get back to that eventually, somehow.
David, you're killing me.
Okay. Having too much fun, right?
Getting back to the women just real quick, instead of the $200 and $100 for second each weekend, they've decided to divide it into each day. So each Saturday and each Sunday, there'll be $100 for first and $75 for second in the women's division, and that's a lot of money. So I'd like to see a lot of you ladies come out and take the challenge and win some bucks.
I'd like to take just a minute to, again, thank all of our sponsors. If it wouldn't be for the ABC, American Bowling Congress and all their adjacent affiliates there. The BPA, of course, bringing you this show for over 30 years. Jeff Weiler, one of our greatest sponsors ever, and Pepsi, the drink that you can find in all the BPA establishments and in my refrigerator, right next to a fine family of Miller products, as a matter of fact. And yeah, without all those people, you wouldn't be watching us today. So please support your sponsors. We love them. Hope you do too. And Ron Bohnert can finish this off with 2 more strikes here and put it right out of the reach. What do you think, Jen?
Swisher 10. That's what I think, David.
Tough guy to beat. Of course,
except for me.
I was just going to bring that up. I was watching the tape of that last night, preparing for the show today, and I couldn't believe how vicious you were.
Oh, well, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. I love this sport, and I love the competition, and so does Ron Bohnert, but I'm sure he will not appreciate us bringing that up today, but he's such a great bowler.
Tough. We have the mics.
That's right. And he's winning some money.
That's right. He's making some money, so I don't think he's going to be too upset with us. Jason, Sebastian, again, a great showing in match number 2. There you see him, just looking at the scores there and trying to figure out some sort of way, even using the new math. I don't think he's going to be able to bring this one back unless Ron Bohnert throws a couple of channel balls here, which I haven't seen him do in the last 20 years.
No, for sure not.
The crowd, once again, very appreciative of good bowling, and they've seen that good bowling in the last match, 258 by Lee Nina Jadley. And, of course, Jason throwing the brilliant 263 to win the second match. And now this game going to be in the 200s again, but it's not going to be enough.
And we have our first King of the Year, Mr. Ron Bohnert.
That's, again, no real surprise to anybody who watches with regularity. Ron Bohnert is phenomenal.
Jason's making an excellent showing for his first time on TV. He has a lot to be proud of.
If it wouldn't have been for opens in the second and third frame, where either, as you said, Jen, the lanes changed a little bit and he didn't catch it, or he dropped his speed, and I think it was the latter, he'd be right in this ball game. But those 2 opens were critical.
Tell you what, though, you get a taste of the King of TV in your blood, and you want to come back time and time again to try and make it. Wow.
There we go.
Wow.
Well, he's administering the maximum amount of punishment now to the pins since he's lost. I'm going to tear a couple of coats of varnish off those dudes. Finishing out, if he gets another one here, it'll be in the 190 area again. Very acceptable for a television game, but not the type of game that it's going to take to beat Mr. Ron Bohnert.
Let's just remind everybody, David, once again, that Jeff Weiler has that Plymouth Breeze we saw earlier on special this week. You have to tell him you saw it on the King of TV, and you can get this car at invoice. And it is gorgeous, and it does a lot of really neat things inside. And, of course, Steve Haynes being so nice to bring it out to us this morning. We appreciate it. And, Jeff Weiler, we appreciate your sponsorship.
That's a neat deal. Have a
that
different
is car of the week.
Yeah, I kind of like it.
I do too.
Got to read the fine print on whether we're able to do that or not. And Mr. Bohnert doing something that he does so well and so many times, striking again. He's going to be in the 240 range with the second one here in the 10th. Again, no surprise to us, no surprise to anybody that is a regular viewer of our show, Jen. And as week number 1 winds down, time sure flies when you're having fun, doesn't it?
It sure does. Next week, we're going to have Nick Vogelsang. Check him out. We have some hot competition coming up.
Ooh, I tell you, it'd be hot like a cayenne pepper, huh?
I guarantee.
Well, I guarantee you're going to have a good time. I don't know if that's on the same network, nor do I care.
I'm sure it isn't.
Okay. 248
Wow.
for Mr. Ron Bohnert, our week #1 king of TV bowling. Jason Sebastian 181, but gave us a great show. Stay tuned. We're going to be handing out